Okay, here's my take on the Mayweather McGregor fight. Just to clear things up, my hat's off to McGregor for selling the fight. At the end of the day, fighters need to be compensated for their work, and he's a hell of a businessman, and he hopefully with his payday solidify, don't mess up his money, and solidify him and his family's well-being for generations to come. But here's my thing. One, they say McGregor landed 111 punches in 10 rounds. That's an average of 10 punches per round. And they say, oh, he landed more than Manny Pacquiao. But here's the thing. Mayweather fought this man in a mannerism that he would had never fought, or he hadn't fought, like, in almost 13 years. So that stats is not really accurate, because he fought a Mayweather that took a lot of risk to be fighting a two-time world champion. He did not fight him like he fought everybody else or whatever, being elusive. He did not fight him like he fought everyone else, being elusive. If he would have fought McGregor in the same manner that he fought a Manny Pacquiao or Andre Berto, by hit, not get hit, make a miss, then every boxing analyst would have been totally correct. The only time McGregor would have landed a punch was when they touched gloves. Mayweather went forward on a bigger man who had more reach than him, which was, if you know anything about boxing, that's exactly how you're supposed to fight a person with more reach, because you're taking the sting off of their punches. He put his guards up and he went forward the whole time. McGregor said he was going to stomp his foot in the middle of that ring and never back up. He was going to go forward and punch through whatever guard, and we did not get that from McGregor. Granted, I even thought that maybe he may have a puncher's chance, but at the end of the day, a boxer trains 100% of the time on punching and eluding punches, where an MMA fighter may practice 5 different disciplines, so they only practicing 20% boxing. So they're only practicing 20% of their training on how to slip a punch. So it was no way McGregor was going to have his punches were going to have the same effect as a Miguel Cotto or a Sugar Shane or an Manny Pacquiao or a Zab Judah. It was never going to have the same effect. But again, for those who don't know, in the words of Roger Mayweather, for those who don't know shit about boxing, they would assume that he had a puncher's chance. But any true or pure boxer know that he did not stand a chance with knocking Mayweather out. And if you look at the time, 1 minute into the ninth, McGregor whole fight game shut down. Now, what McGregor should have did was went full on, basically what they call interval training. He should have went full on for 2 rounds and took a break for a round. Then went full on for 2 rounds and took a break for a round. Then went full on for a round for 2 rounds and then took a break for a round, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the fight, he would have probably edged him out 8-4. I don't see how this man got 9 figures and had this elaborate training camp, quote unquote, and no one figured that part out, you know. But a pure boxer would have understood in that situation if that's what he had to do, or a pure boxer trainer would have understood that if that's what he had to do, then they would have articulated that to him in the fight, that that is what he had to do. I mean, so at the end of the day, hats off to McGregor for selling the fight. I'm not gonna say nothing about any pre-fight shenanigans or what have you. You know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, but at the end of the day, hats off to McGregor for helping sell the fight, making the money, taking care of his family, because that's what it's ultimately about. Nobody fights for free. And congratulations to Mayweather on the win, because he went out 50-0, and at the end of the day, McGregor is a stand-up fighter. Every time he goes to the ground, he loses. All his losses have been on the ground. And he does have a nice set of hands, and like he said, he didn't lose, he learned. And I'm eager to see what he looks like in the MMA ring. But I would strongly advise him not to challenge Errol Spence, Canelo Alvarez, or a Granado Golovkin, or an Andre Ward, or any heavy puncher in boxing. Because if you challenge a heavy puncher with a great chin, and you can't teach chin, if he challenged any boxer that's a heavy puncher, that is not going to have the complex of Mayweather where he has to go forward, because this is his style of fighting, the results will be detrimental for him. He will get knocked out. And my last thoughts is that if I was Mayweather, I would go to the MMA ring on gamesmanship, for the simple fact that if the numbers are right, you know, I mean, but I don't know how or if the 50-0 would be affected. If the 50-0 would be affected, no, do not destroy your legacy. Do not be Kevin Durant and go do something to taint your legacy. Leave it what it is and let the two sports be respected. But if it's a situation where it will not affect his boxing record because it is on a mixed martial arts stage, if the numbers are right, I would do it again, only against Conor McGregor, and I would do it almost immediately. I wouldn't wait 2 years to get more training, because the longer he waits, the more they're going to expect from him. I would give it the same amount of time of training, maybe a year, and go do it again for another 9 figures. I mean, that's my own personal opinion from having a boxing background and having family and friends who have a boxing pedigree.